Hello, welcome to Mama Too Strong. I am going to show you my Laurel Denise vertical weekly planner. This is our 2023 family planner that I talk about all the time that stays on our kitchen island. It has a place for important dates. It says goals and things to remember and the entire month laid out. I played a lot around in January with it. I thought I might use it for a work planner, and then that didn't work out. So I tried it for a few other things. And then I really got into it in May, and that's when it was decided that it would become our family planner. And so what I did was I got highlighters for each of our family members, just regular midliners. Everybody has their own color. This is my husband, this is my work, this is anything family related, this is for me, and this is for the kids. And so that's how it is color coordinated. I separated the morning, the afternoon, and the evening, and all of our dinners were put down here. I then put kind of basic things that are going on in this calendar in the squares, and I mostly tried to cross out or block time the other things that were going on. And so I did this basically for the entire month. When I first started, when I realized that this was going to work, this was the setup that was going to work, I still had to remember the colors that I had coordinated for everybody. And so I had a little key over here in this corner. So the other thing about me is that it never bothers me if I have to cross things out. I know a lot of people in the Laurel Denise community talk about having to use like friction pens so that they can erase or whatever. For me, it is just all part of the process. Plans change. I'm aware of that. We're all aware of that. And if we can't be flexible in our house, well, I've done something wrong. So I used it, very consistently for May with the morning, afternoon, evening, and dinners. And then I had a little routine. I really enjoyed doing it that way. After each month, there's a back page for the last week. You can, obviously, you can use that for whatever you want. I've used it for all different things. I tried a meal plan, things I had to do. I separated by day. And then there's a list of, to-dos for the month. And then, we went into June, and you can see this is a really well-loved planner. It gets dirty. People put, every so often I'll see somebody else's writing, which I really enjoy, because that means that somebody else decided to put their plan into the family planner. And that makes me very happy, of course, since I am a planner. And we just continued this through the month of June. We continued it through the entire rest of the year. I just wanted to do kind of like a flip through. At some point, whenever I started training for the marathon, I would put meals on one part of this bottom piece, and my mileage, whatever I had to run. So my husband knew how long to expect me to be gone. That was kind of like a safety thing. Meal ideas, I didn't really use this part in June. July was, again, not as busy as, like when school starts. But then I started to do some fun things once I got, I was in it for a few months and got really comfortable. I see my daughter's writing is right here. So she was putting things in that she was doing, and I continued with my training. we did over the summer, we have some family things, traditions that we do, and one of them is Shark Week. So I started, decorating a little bit for things like that. And so that was, a lot of fun. I always put if my husband's going to work from home or from the office up at the top, and then whatever I have going on, like I said, this color is work. I tried to do a dinner at home. I just wanted to see how many times we ate dinner. So I made a little tracker box, and then I wanted to track the cost of our groceries, but it turned out that this was not the planner for that. So I just did other things. I did some fun family memories for the month of July, and that has become something that we do often. I really like. I think it's really special for us. August started to get busy again, of course, with school starting, and so I did the same type of, weekly plans, and then school started, and so that got hectic, and we did some lunch ideas, and then I had back to school for each of the kids. And I am not shy about trying different, I'll do it vertically this way. Obviously it's horizontal over here, then it's vertical. The planning part is vertical, but I just like to try it whichever way I want. Sometimes I just try it with a different, view, because it just seems like it's what's more conducive for whatever it is that I'm planning. And then of course there were a lot more to-dos in August because of school starting again. So we went through the rest of the year that way. At some point I got really annoyed at my family, and so I left them notes because people were being very inflexible. So I just said, be flexible. And so then we just continued on with I got more comfortable. I continued keeping the routine the same as far as how we used the planner, how I set it up each month, which was morning, afternoon, evening, the meal plan, and then the runs. But I had an injury, so that got cut short. So, but for the most part, we stuck with the same colors. Everything stayed the same. And then I started even using this last little row, which I hadn't used very consistently before, but this really worked for us. And like I said, even the kids and my husband started putting things in the planner, which made me really happy. Like right here, my husband, you can tell, of course, I'm not complaining, but he did not use the pens that I like to use for this planner. He did it in pencil, which, okay. And so we continued that way. Then I changed it up a little bit this third week, I think, or the fourth week in September. And there were some things that I noticed were getting done every day. And so whoever did it, like I was in charge of certain things for my son, just as we got back into the groove with work and school, so that, things were divided a little bit differently. And so we continued with our meals. And then of course I had already set up the run area, so that changed. I continued this through September. We did some family gratitudes. Again, I used this part for the kids and some home things. John Luke started karate, so we put his schedule in there. And then October came. I kept the same routine. I continued to try and use this little area that I don't use too much for just family to-dos. I think at some point I turned it into like a family corner or something like that. And you can see here I used whiteout, and again, that just never scratched things out. That just never bothers me. I put some things over in this area that had to do with my son and just different things that we were going to do in the month of October. November, I stuck with the same routine, started using this area for home and family, but generally I kept the same format for the planner for the rest of the year from when we started using this format, which I think was the end of May and then for sure in June, and just kept doing it that way. I sometimes would use different washi, but for the most part, this is a very functional planner for us. It's not one that I really spend a lot of time decorating. We did our Thanksgiving menu. I probably intended to do some family gratitudes, but those are all ideas of different things you can use this for. And so, I mean, the possibilities are really endless. December was another kind of busy month towards the beginning, and then of course it tapered down. But I kept the same setup, and it just really works for us. We did a high-low at a family dinner one night, and so I decided to record them in here just so that we would have some other things recorded. I'll show you at the end that I do use this as a family recording planner as well. And that takes us to the tracker area. I set this up I set part of it up at the beginning of the year when I still wasn't sure what I was going to use it for. So I didn't know it was going to be more of a family planner ultimately. And so it was like books I've read, new restaurants. Obviously, we didn't go to very many new restaurants, but I probably didn't list all of them. Favorite movies and favorite meals. And then I kind of turned it, into favorite family meals. I wanted to see the desserts I had made this year, the rooms that I'd cleaned. That turned into a different planner. So favorite moments, which I always love to do, and everybody contributes to this. So it's really super exciting to see what everybody wants to add to the favorite moments. I was determined to make this trip to California, to Disneyland, happen. So I made myself a note up there that says, Christina, you will make this happen. And I did. We took a trip to Disneyland, and I used a tab and it says vacation planning. And so that was a lot of fun, but I was able to generally put the things that we wanted to do, like at Disneyland and then California Adventure, stuff I wanted to buy and things that were must-dos. And then I transferred it over to reality. I made it happen. And then to a different, smaller kind of family little book that we were able to make while we were there. I left a page blank for whatever reason. This was a really popular layout. I used it when I needed to move out of my house, and I will always come back to using a layout this way to plan a move because it was extremely effective. I brain dumped everything on this left side of the page of what needed to happen in the move out. I separated it by downstairs, upstairs, and then just miscellaneous. From those lists, I then transferred it to this other page, but I separated the page into days of the week. And I wanted to have it done, I think I met with the realtor on, I don't know, it was like the last day of August, and I wanted it to be on the market by mid-September. And so we had to have it cleared out way before mid-September in order for it to be on the market. And so I said, we're going to do this basically in about a week. And I assigned a day for each of the things that needed to happen. And we stuck with it, and it got done, and I will always come back to this format if we move again, which I hope we don't. But so that continued over here, and as you can see, by the 12th, there was nothing in this box because everything had gotten done previously. I think I even had a few extra days, so it was amazing. That all happened when it was supposed to. My husband and I made some bucket lists for traveling, which was really a lot of fun. Just an activity for us to do together. And then moving in was another, and unpacking was another kind of activity that needed to take place that I tried to get organized into the planner. It didn't go as smoothly as moving out, because when you move out, you get rid of so much stuff. Moving in, you're trying to, you know, like mesh and blend two different houses, and that was definitely a little bit of, it was interesting to say the least. But anyway, you know, I was able to use this page in a functional way that worked for us. And even though I haven't checked a lot of this off, we definitely did do a lot of that stuff. Then there was just more extra pages. There's more extra pages at the end. I will use these differently for next year. And I just kept some, there's a folder back here, and I kept some things that I thought was interesting. And I also wanted to show you the pens that I like to use, because the boxes can be really small for some people depending on their writing. And these are the, really like using this pen the most, and it's just an Energel Klena or Klena, I don't know how to say it, but I use Click Art for these little tabs. This Pentel Papermate Energel is another favorite, and it's a 0.7. And then the Zebra Sarasa, this is a 0.5. And I like writing in blue. I'm a blue girl. So those are the pens that I like to use for writing in here. And also they don't smear when I use the highlighter over them. So naturally we got a Laurel Denise planner again for 2024. And I got the cover for it because I did notice that leaving the other one on the pantry, on the island in the kitchen, it did get dirty. And so now when people come over, we can close it, but people are always so attracted to our planner. They're always wanting to see what we do in there. And so I actually gifted a few to some of my neighbors, but it's very similar in format. I haven't filled out the 2024 goals or things to remember or special dates, but I will. I have already started planning for January and putting some things that I know are going to happen in the boxes. And I think I basically always start like with birthdays and doctor appointments and stuff like that. And so, yeah, doctor's appointments all the way through April. May, doctor appointment. And then I'll do birthdays next. But this year on the back of this last page that I sometimes was able to use functionally and sometimes kind of fell off that wagon, there's habit trackers. And so that's a new feature. I haven't quite decided how we're going to use it. Another difference is the part of this area right in here, you can kind of compare these boxes are a little bit different. And then it doesn't say time or priorities up here. They're blank. So you can put whatever you want up there. This box up here is bigger. This blank one is bigger than this one. And then at the very bottom, there's not this divider. So I'll either put this part up here in the new one, or I will just make my own divider for this bottom part, because we did like that part. We used it quite a bit, so that's where we put our meals. And so then at the back, otherwise it's all the same. I think these boxes are a little bit bigger. I can't remember, but that wasn't an issue for me anyway. There's some note pages. There's a plan ahead. She did things a little bit different. She put like yearly wins over here, yearly lessons, and I don't think there's as many note pages. There's some that are dot or grid, and then there's some that are dot grid. and we'll definitely put that to good use. The last page, she also, this is different, used an area for books I'm reading, things I'm listening to, happy moments, gratitude, hobbies, ways I'm moving my body, I'm excited for, and I'm hopeful for. We, use these, as you remember, I had done this myself in the 2023 planner. So I'm fine with it this way. If I wanted, or if somebody wanted to, they could just put a tab sticker over whatever the title is and put whatever they want on there. Like I may change a few of them and just put, I like to record some things that my kids say, so I may change, and I have a different gratitude journal, so we'll just kind of pick on the gratitude one, but I could cover it with the name of one of my kids and make little bullet points for, something they said or something, significant that happened in their life, something like that. So you can definitely, you're not locked into it just because it's written on there. You could completely cover it with washi. You could do whatever you want with any of these pages, but I probably will. I'm not sure what is going to, I know we have a trip planned for this year, and so I'll probably use one of these blank pages. I also have a project planner that my husband and I are going to use, which I had one for 2023 as well, but my husband and I are going to use the 2024 one, and so that'll be in a different video. But I'm always talking about how I use my Laurel Denise for our family planner that everybody always loves, and when people come over, they're always looking to see what we have in the planner, just because they think it's really cool that even the kids get involved in it. It's really funny when I hear my 8-year-old say, "Dad, it was in the planner. Did you look in the planner?" And that's kind of funny. But so yeah, that's just a overview run through of how we used our Laurel Denise vertical planner for 2023 as our family planner, our home base. And so if anybody has any questions, just leave them below and I definitely will answer. And don't forget to hit the subscribe and like button for more videos like this. I am going to get more consistent this coming year with regard to how often I post videos. But for now, I am done, and I hope everybody has a great rest of the week going into the new year. Happy New Year from Mama Too Strong. See you next year.